Alright y'all, so we got a new thing here, and this was the SD card solution for the MC-10. So what we need to do here is we need to put some files on it. It didn't come with an SD card, so what I did was I remembered I had a 32 gig SD card in my Samsung S9 that I only use for an overhead camera. So I thought, let me just grab it out of there. So I did that, and I had an old adapter laying around, so it was I went from a micro SD card to the full-size SD card there. I dragged it into OpenSUSE, and I went ahead and formatted it with gparted as a FAT32. Look over here at our left monitor. This is it opened up in the File Explorer, Windows File Explorer. So it's currently labeled as removable disk in. So what I should suggest we might do is, let's go to properties and we'll rename that thing. And we'll name this MC-10 SD. How about that? Apply. So now it is renamed as MC-10 SD up here. I've downloaded a few games just to see. I didn't get any documentation with it, so I'm assuming it's going to be similar to some other things I've used. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, so let's just drag this Argo over here. Games. And there was an Aster 64, I believe, the Asteroids. Some time ago I made a donation to a given site, and it gives me access to these what they call ROM packs. You can download a big zip file full of these programs. So I don't know if I can trust them or how well they work, so I'm just going to put a couple right now. We're going to test it. If it works out, we'll load that thing up. So yeah, before you pull an SD or a USB stick or any of that, it's always a good idea to close the window so that you're not accessing it. Then you can pull it out of there. So this can go in the slot here. So it kind of it has a push lock. You push in on it and it'll eject it, kind of like some older laptops have. So yeah, push it in and lock it, push it in to release it. You don't really want to be just pulling it out of there. So that makes it simple if you know how to do it. So I got this thing from the Zippster Zone. They actually have some in stock if you've been waiting to get one. At this time, of course, when I get the video edited, who knows. It's called the MCX32-SD. So let's see here. It plugs into the expansion slot on MC-10, providing SD-based file storage and expanded BASIC with additional commands, additional RAM and flash memory for your computer. Comes complete with a 3D printed case. Yes, it did. SD card is not included. So he's still sold out on the composite and sound mod I wanted to do with this thing. So we'll keep an eye on that when those come in stock, and I actually have some money to spend. Those are two rarities. Then I will pick them up. I will pick one up. So we put two files on the SD card here. Let's go ahead and plug this guy in. Come on here. Come on here. There we go. Nice firm fit. You gotta love that. So we gotta hook up the video. We can do that now. We gotta plug in the TV and we gotta plug in the computer. Alright, let's turn it on. Power on. Hot diggity, look at that. MCX Basic 3.0. So, little addendum here. I emailed the Zippster Zone, and I got an email back from Mr. Ed Snyder. He was kind enough to attach a couple of documents for me. So let's have a look at these documents. Yeah, one is just the programmer's reference, and the other, files and directory paths. Right, we're going to come back to that part. I'm going to find the title page if I can. So this is the MCX32-SD user's guide. So very nice. So we actually got a user's manual after all. How about that? So it shows here that we should do a print mem with the expansion unit installed, which we've done. But let's go ahead and make sure our numbers match theirs. And we get 27618, just like they did. How about that? Alright, so it looks like we could do an auto exec file. And this file is a basic program that is going to be located in a subdirectory named MCX32-SD, which itself is located in the root directory. File names can be up to, I believe, 39. Is it 39? It'll accept SD cards formatted with either FAT16 or FAT32. And long file names limited to 39 ASCII characters right here are supported. File types recognized are basic programs as ASCII, C10 emulator files, or WAVE audio. Machine language binary files as C10, WAVE, or COCO binary format. Basic array files as C10 or WAVE. Basic data files. Print input as ASCII text. And P-mode graphic screens as raw data. So what I would like to do here is, at this point, I would just like to move the SD card over. And with that done, yeah, so here's our SD card, and here is our games folder. Let's do this. Let's make a new folder, and we'll just say converts. And then select all of those and drag them over into converts. Then over here, I wanted to grab demos through utilities, drag those over, and this will give us a chance to work with some directories. So we could create a folder, a subdirectory named MCX32-SD. It's a new folder. MCX32-SD. Okay, and if we could write a basic program and put it in there, and we gotta save it as .exec.bas. So I think we're pretty much done here with the SD card for now. So let's close this and get the SD card back in the machine. Turn it back on. Okay. So we could write a basic program. 20. Alright, so now it will do this. It will give us the same information, and we can add to it. So now 50 MEM semicolon bytes free. Alright, let's run this. Microcolor basic, copyright, 27481 bytes free. Burns Misadventures, TRS-80, MC-10. How about that? Okay, we seem to have come up with a mistake here. Let's list. Yeah, we missed I guess I typed over it. I wrote 30 twice instead of writing 40. Or 40 just didn't take. I don't know what happened. But that's okay. So we're going to save this. Okay. So here's the syntax. Directory, device, comma, path, and filter. Directory. There's a space. And it should be 0, comma, MCX32 dash SD. Oh, I took it okay. So let's see the directory. Should come up empty. Good, it is. So now we can save auto exec. Right. Oh yeah, let's just do a directory now. So here it is, autoexec.basic. Alright, let's turn it off. Alright, y'all. So we had a lot of fun setting it up. Now let's have a little fun playing with it a little bit. Let's see what it can do. So there's a really cool demo on here I want to show y'all. Let's see if we can get that going here. Let me show you this first. I made some changes to our little program we wrote for our auto exec. Let me know what you think about it. So all these lines and whatnot you see in the video, they're just not there to the human eye. The camera just doesn't capture the video very well. I've tried goofy things with changing the frame rate and whatnot, and then it ends up being corrupted when I try to run it in the editor. And I don't know. There's probably a way to do it. It's beyond the scope of my knowledge at this time, so I feel better about not messing with it. So we'll just deal with this, okay? We'll get the composite mod in here at one point, and then we can capture the video directly with the video capture device I've got. All right, well let's load something, shall we? Let's load the PlasZix V2 demo. So we'll go directory. Yeah, and we go directory equals. You don't need to put the 0, comma, blah blah blah. Unless you're really dug down deep and you don't want to put a big long string to dig your way all the way back out, then it's just simple. But for when you're in the root directory already, it's easier to just go directly to whichever folder you want to go to. So what we want to do is we just want to go directly to demos. Okay, and then you go directory and you're in the demos. Okay. And we'll do a clear screen. Make sure that we're up here. Then it's just a load M, because this one's a machine language program. PlasZix, PLASZIX V2. And then when it's done loading it, we'll put a colon. After that, go ahead and execute it. It is. So that just basically loops around and around and around doing that. I think it's pretty cool. So another cool, well, this is a kind of a cute little demo. I don't know that it's all that technically advanced, but it's kind of neat, kind of cute to watch. And it's an example of things that you can just use your imagination and come up with things. Even if they're not award-winning things, it's just something you could do with this machine. So let's have a look at this. Okay, it's a basic program. need to make sure we're okay. So CLS. So here is a great example. Right now we're in the demos directory, right? So if you were to try to just do that same directory equals, and you want to go to the games, right? Well, the games is not a child directory to this one that you're in, and you get an error, right? So what you have to do, directory equals, you could do the full 0 thing, 0, comma, and then you put your quotation, and then you do your slash. If you just did the slash there, that would take you back into the root directory. Or you could do slash games, slash, alright? And that will take you out of the directory you're in and over to the games directory. And now if we do a directory, we should find games in here. And we did. Just a couple. Okay, so I wanted to show you the Pac-Man port that I found. I think it's pretty good, considering what we're working with here. So let's load it up. It's a machine language program. Let me bring that up to the top of the screen. So we'll go to clear screen. There we go. We'll work from here. We'll load in Pac-Man. C, and there's a dash in there. Not two C's though, just a dash. M-A-N and colon execute. There we go. So this is a bit more sophisticated graphics. But at any rate, pretty nice little port. You use the arrow keys on the keyboard to control it, and the only way I've been able to do this at all, I certainly don't have the coordination and mindset to be able to do this and have any luck. So what I've done is I put 2 fingers on up and down and another 2 fingers on left and right. I'm not real sure exactly how I would do this, but anyway, you press enter and you're off to the races. I'm getting confused. I got confused where my fingers were. It's easy to do. You can't move to the next level until you clear all the pellets. So the ghosts are, to me, are just a distraction. There we go. Oh, I thought I could beat him to that intersection. So yeah, really cool. It's a really nice port. The gameplay speed is nice. I mean, I've played Pac-Man on one of my other machines that runs quite a bit faster than this one does, and let me tell you, it was painfully slow. So it's all about the programming. It's not about the machine specs. This thing here, you got to remember, this is on a computer that runs at less than 1 megahertz. I think it's like 0.89. So to be able to, that's some clean coding there. That's all I'm saying. Really good. Okay, next, there's another great game that I thought, I'm going to play one more machine language game, and then I'll show a couple basic ones that I think are pretty good considering they were written in BASIC. So let's just reset. Now what I find interesting is, even I've found that you normally stay in the same subdirectory you were in, and perhaps that's because it's stored in the in the MCX32 rather than the machine itself. And that's probably exactly what it is. It's stored in the flash memory in there instead of the computer. So it's not that interesting now that I've broken it down. But at any rate, that's pretty neat. So if you do the directory, you were in the games directory before, and you're in the games directory now. And that'll be the case as long as you press reset and you don't press power off, turn the power off. Once you cut the power, then it kills the power to the cartridge, and that will reset some memory in there too. So that makes sense. Let's play Space Assault. So we will load Space Assault : execute. I forgot to put the M. I knew I was loading. Yeah, whatever. It was an oversight. It happens. All right, colon. Okay, I'm going to check to see if we're actually recording something besides a blur. Looks like we are. This is the second time trying to record this part, and all I got was blurriness the first time through. So, look at here. You use the arrow keys, the A and the S button, and the enter key is the fire. I let them come to me till we get a little further into the game. Okay, now it's time to start running around a little bit. Whoop! Yeah, once they start chewing on you, it's hard to get out of their bite. But anyway, really nice port. I think they did a good job of it, and it's a lot of fun to play on this machine, this little machine that's hard to take serious. But I mean, it's awesome. Who couldn't love it? So anyway, let's try a couple of the basic programs, and then we'll probably wrap. So we go to, let's see, I have Breakout. Let's load Breakout. We'll just verify that we are still in the games. We are. Okay, CLS. And this is a basic program, so just simple load should do the job. So load Breakout. Sometimes I can touch type on this keyboard, but usually I end up making more mistakes. Breakout. Okay, and then you just run it. Right. Then you got to use the up and down arrows, which is the W and the Z key. There you go. You got a hold of it that time. Ooh, I don't think I'll be able to catch it. The challenge is that slow moving paddle, get it up there before the ball gets past you. Other than that, it's not really high speed or technical. You almost have to anticipate where it's going to go. That's not always easy to do because I don't know that the physics mimic that which we experience on Earth. But that's okay. It's fun to play. That's all that matters. Fun to play, but probably a little bit like watching paint dry to watch. So we will just reset and move on to the next game. So the next game I wanted to show was Defend. That's what I have in my notes, so we'll just keep with that. So we'll load Defend, and we will run it. So this one here, you use the 1 key and the minus key, or the 1 and the equals key, left and right on the top row, and press the space to start. So your idea is you actually, instead of dodging these, you want to catch them. That worked great. Let's try it again. Hey, I got one. So you want to catch them as you're defending a position or something. Again, anticipation. Your ship doesn't move. Your whatever you are, this character here, it doesn't move fast enough to really catch them, so you have to anticipate it. And that's where the fun and the challenge of the game comes from. Not a bad game, but it's indicative of a lot of the games. The very low resolution graphics, but fun to play, you know. And that's what makes these old computers fun. Is that they're just fun to play with. So yeah, really cool. So in the last attempt to film this video, I made an alteration to my auto exec file, right? And I wanted to show how we did that. So we turn that on. So I added one line at the end of the program, which was the new statement. So if we try to list that program, it's already gone because the last thing that program did was erase itself. So, and that was so that you could just turn it on and be ready to program or load something, or well, once you load something, you get a new automatically. But if you're just going to just jump in there and start writing some programming or something, you know, because you just wanted to do something real quick, you might forget to put new, and it could cause you problems. So if the program does it for itself, it's not even an issue, and it looks just like a regular old boot screen, and it acts like one too with the new in there. So that's kind of neat. So if we wanted to look at the alterations I made to the code, we could do that real quickly. We would have to change directories. So now we'll do directory equals, we'll put 0, comma, it's because we're in a subdirectory now, so we have to dig our way out. So we'll just come on up here. I can't even remember. So here we just go to the root directory, so just do slash, and then directory MCX32-SD. I don't know why I cannot remember that. It's like a mental block or something. MCX32-SD. So we got to change to that directory. So we do directory equals, and here we don't have to put the 0 because we're in the root directory. X32-SD. Okay, now we do a directory. You see that we're in auto exec, so we could load it. And then we could list it. If we run it, it'll be gone again. So most of the changes I made since earlier in the video when we wrote it together. So what I did off screen was I added this stuff here. Here's the thing where it kind of mimics the intro song that I did. I mean, that was the idea behind it anyway. So you're going to play this tone 200 4 times, dun 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 dun, right? So it plays that, and then there's your duration. I wasn't sure what I wanted to go with, so I made it variables. Now we guess just a little less typing to make changes. Definitely could have been done in less lines of code, but you know, like I say, it only has to run once and then it just disappears, so it doesn't really matter. I'm showing you a little look behind the curtain here. Yeah, then I got a little delay loop. And then there's the lower note, and then the higher note that it comes back with to end the song, the little tune snippet, and then there's our new at the end right here. So, yeah, I mean, there it is. We run it, and it's gone, right? So, hey, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed hanging out with me, checking out the old MC-10, along with the MCX32 little cartridge here, and how to use it and how to set it up, at least how I did these things. And hey, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. And with that, we'll see y'all in the next one. Y'all take care.